ultimate Bitcoin DeFi and BRC20 portfolio. What you have to buy, what you have to hold, and what you have to understand to leverage the largest opportunity on the market that VCs are going crazy about, right as you watch this video. Bitcoin DeFi. Imagine the amount of liquidity that's going to be unlocked with Bitcoin DeFi. Bitcoin Layer 2s. Imagine how well the transactions might work and how many projects we might get on a proper Bitcoin Layer 2 once it would be introduced. Everyone, each and every person would want to build on the largest, most well-known chain. Nothing else would be able to compete with Bitcoin Layer 2 if done properly, depending on the use case, of course. And the largest opportunity, the narrative that actually outperformed the market already, BRC20s and Ordinals. Gaming did not do 100x's. AI did not do 100x's as a narrative. Ordinals and BRC20 had done 100x's. And there is still a bunch of opportunity because largest projects with best foundation in BRC20 and Ordinals and Bitcoin DeFi, they do only have 100 million market cap. Imagine how much people are fading, how heavily they're fading what is happening on the market currently. It's just crazy to me. What we have to do is to understand what is happening currently on the marketplace. What are the narratives that are actually pumping and what are the narratives that kind of sleeping right now, which might tell us that maybe their turn is actually the next, because liquidity tend to flow from one place to another, to another, to another on the market. I'm just holding my tokens. I'm just holding my entries, entering into good stuff in the process. Very interesting. We have Telegram bot, generative AI and big data as top performing categories. On CoinMarketCap, I was not sorting anything. I basically just opened this page. Top gainers we see is enqAI, enqAI, enqAI. You might ask, who was telling you about this token? Who was mentioning this token at least 2 times in his 2 separate videos on the course of the last 2 months and separately on Twitter when he bought into the token publicly as well? Who actually had done this? What influencer? Maybe some guy you are following with 200,000 subscribers? Maybe he's making money for you and he mentioned enqAI to you? Who actually told you about enqAI? Who's that person? It's me. I basically entered on January 1st at 001 right here after the dip to 0085. And after that, I publicly called the entry at 0017. If you bought at 0017, you basically had done a 3x as well. After that, we basically dipped to 001 on January 25th. And my call on Twitter was not the only time I was talking about enqAI. Here's a video from 10th of January. I'm basically talking about enqAI here for 2 minutes straight. You can see the price 0017. If you were entering here, you would also do a 3x at the current for the token as well. I also want to show the current size of my position in one of my wallets. Right now I have 38,600 bucks from 7k that I put into enqAI initially. I do think that this project actually is going to do very well. If they would be able to pull up, to actually launch the things that they're talking about, it will be so crazy. It can literally go to billions. That basically sums up my point that I'm talking about. Most of the alpha on YouTube, on small channels, on people with small amount of subscribers. Only 400 people initially saw my post on Twitter. And this video only got 1,000 views. And you were able to make 3x at least from this video. If you would DCA in, you were able to make 4x. And I made 5x. And I'm holding the token moving forward. Because I do understand we are at the start of the bull market. And I do understand that this thing can go to billions moving forward. Why even I would take profits at this stage? This is the post from 2nd of January. Yesterday at 9 a.m., January 1st, when most of the world was sleeping with a hangover, I was researching enqAI and entered a 7k spot position, plus 50% in a day. These 7k are worth $35,000 at this stage. The team is trying to put a decentralized, uncensored LLM on-chain. Think ChatGPT democratized. If the narrative will pick it up, it will search like crazy. 445 views, 4 likes. No one cared. And right now, the whole market suddenly cares about these tokens. And you are still not subscribed to this channel. You are still not listening to what I have to say. Just crazy. Do you understand that this token is only at 50 million market cap at this stage? It's going to go to billions if they actually would be able to pull out the thing that they're working on. Listen what I have to say. Chill, focus, and wait. The reason I'm showing you different narratives and how things are performing around the market is because I obviously want to show you BRC20s. And you see that they've done 20%, which is quite nice recently, but it's definitely lower than some type of AI tokens or essentially things like that. We don't have a separate ordinals category there as well, which I think is a mistake, and it will definitely appear somewhere in the future as well. BRC20 on CoinMarketCap, they're 130 place and things like that. So what is my thesis? Why I'm telling you about BTC DeFi, Bitcoin Ordinals and things like that? My thesis is if we will push forward with BTC from 52,000, if we will push up, I do think that the next thing that's going to go crazy is going to be the ecosystem of Bitcoin, layer 1 specifically. Bitcoin, Ordinals and obviously stacks. And things that are connected to stacks. Stacks has pumped quite nicely already, but there is a project I want to tell you about that did not pump much yet. Although, if you were buying it in my previous video, when I was telling you about 10 tokens that you can enter if you didn't buy yet, it's almost a 2x from that numbers. And I will show you this token a bit later in the video as well, probably closer to the end of the video, so make sure to watch it till the end. And even if we would be getting a correction currently, I think that the tokens that I'm going to share, they're actually good foundational projects that will be doing very, very well once the market will be surging up like crazy. And I do actually have a very, very interesting thesis that I want to share with you. Listen closely. Each and every layer 2 that's going to come out this year is a scam. I believe that. I do think that we will have a major battle between TRAC and TAP protocol and Stacks ecosystem. This is something that's going to happen. Everything else is going to be a scam projects that will essentially go nowhere on long-term time frame. We might be getting something close to Matic this cycle as well, which is probably stacks already, if you would ask me, which will surge very, very nicely to billions, basically. But everything else in terms of Bitcoin layer 2 is not yet developed. It's not ready. It's not going to work. We will see a huge flow of Bitcoin layer 2 launches and products in the next cycle. Not this one. The main reason for that is because 6 months ago, no one was investing into Bitcoin layer 2. And proper projects, they actually need time to develop. They need development teams, they need development processes, they need software engineers, they need QA specialists, they need proper enterprise software development processes from the team and from people who are working with the city of New York. Do you know this team? Do you know a team like that? I happen to run one. If you want to develop a software solution, hit me on LinkedIn, just send me a message, we will talk, we will help you. I do believe that all of the Bitcoin layer 2s that are going to pop up this year, they will be not finalized, you won't be able to do much things with them, and all the liquidity that will be injected into them will eventually flow either into Stacks ecosystem or TAP protocol and ecosystem of TAP protocol and TRAC. These are the only 2 products that we have at this stage that have been developed for quite some time from proper teams, from proper developers. And I would see that this is going to be the main battle of this cycle as well. But we do have a layer 1, which is TRAC and TAP protocol, and layer 2, which is Stacks. So they're quite different. I do think that they're going to be the winners of this battle as well. So you might just want to DCA into the projects in these ecosystems, not basically caring much about all the layer 2s that are going to be launched this year. They didn't have enough time to develop something properly. They just did not have. TRAC is being developed for a year already with a proper team, with funds raised. That's why I think they will do well, and no one except them will basically do well. Also Stacks, obviously, but Stacks was being developed for 5 years already. It's going to be the first, the best in the market as well. I know that you don't like the theory, you just want me to provide you with a list of tokens to ape into. I will give you an overview in terms of BRC20 portfolio tokens and Stacks ecosystem tokens, with which you would be able to get exposure into Bitcoin DeFi. Proper exposure into Bitcoin DeFi, not BeFi project launching on Ape Terminal. No one hears anything about it already. Why? I don't know. In the first place, we have Ordi. Ordi is the first ordinal. It's basically a meme token. It also works as kind of this hedge fund for everything that's happening within BRC20 ecosystem. If you see Ordi surging, that probably means that we will soon see a surge in between BRC20 assets and tokens and things like that. Recently, we saw from the start of February, it basically did almost a 50%, which is very, very nice. So I think it's actually quite nice time to position yourself in lower caps in BRC20 and Ordinals, because I assume that liquidity from Ordi would essentially be flowing into these things. Once Ordi will pump a little bit more, and I do think it will only pump a little bit more if in terms of BTC we will go higher than 52k, 56, 58, 60, then it will just go like crazy. BRC20 and Ordinals are an ultimate hedge long position against BTC just surging up. If you don't have any exposure to Bitcoin, which I don't have, for example, just buy into BRC20 and Ordinals, because they're from the same ecosystem and they will surge, they will go up with BTC going up as well. Market cap is 1.5 billion at this stage. It's quite large, if you might ask. At the same time, we can see that fully diluted is 1.5 billion as well. Why is that? It's because tokens in BRC20 ecosystem, old ones, they were actually launched as fair launches. All the supply is distributed between holders. That's the only reason how proper BRC20 layer 1 tokens are actually being launched. And this is a very interesting thing on how you can actually spot projects not native to BRC20 and to BTC ecosystem as well. So basically, if you want to get something safe, if you just don't care about the space, if you have 100, 200k to throw and you want to get some exposure into BRC20 and Ordinals, just buy Ordi. Even at these levels, if you have 200k, put 70k now, wait for a correction, put 70k more, and then somewhere down the road, put 70k more as well. Or you can just put your all 200k right now, because no one knows the future. And no one knows if you actually get in the correction moving forward or not, right? It's the most easiest thing. The main issue you might have that it's actually a meme token. So nothing is happening for Ordi. It just was the first Ordinals. It's like an introduction of new technology, and that's why it has 1.5 billion market cap. And that's why it's top 55 of all cryptos ever made by men and women. Next thing that we have is SATS. SATS are your bricks when you're building the house. Basically, each and every asset in Bitcoin ecosystem consists of SATS. People who are envisioning future of Bitcoin being global currency and the only one, they do also envision that people will be using SATS for payments, because small pieces of Bitcoins, they would just not be very, very convenient. And each and every BTC consists of certain amount of SATS that can be essentially used for payments as well. So it's like you, for example, you have yourself, you have your nose, you have your arm, and your arm consists of atoms. And the same way, BTC consists of SATS. Very, very easy to understand. If you want to buy bricks, if you think that bricks will go up in value just because the assets that are being built with these bricks will go up in value as well, SATS is a choice for you. It's actually something with certain implementation of utility as well. You can basically sell any asset on BTC for a certain amount of SATS each and every time. Even if your assets will go like to zero, you will still be able to sell it for a certain amount of SATS. Just the way if you get a nuclear bomb bombing your house, right? You would be able to maybe get some bricks from the explosion, and then you would be able to sell these bricks and still make some money from the bricks that your house was made of. Obviously, if you don't live in the US, because in the US, houses are made from, I don't know, some type of very, very thin wood. It's not even bricks. So you might want to buy into this thing if you like bricks and if you think that bricks are going to go up in value. TRAC is an ultimate Bitcoin DeFi indexer play. Basically, you need TRAC for BRC20 assets to exist. And not only BRC20s, because TRAC is also indexing assets in other meta protocols. Just to explain to you very easily. All these BRC20 assets, they are some data on Bitcoin. And in order for this data to be valuable, it has to be indexed. It has to be structured, put in place, and after that, actually, the data becomes valuable. And this is what exactly TRAC is doing. It's actually a foundational project. They have a development team. They've raised 4.2 million at least at this stage already for the development of the ecosystem and of the project as well. And engineers that are building a BTC ecosystem, they're using TRAC and TRAC products on a daily basis. That's very, very great foundational, fundamental things that will be needed anyway. It's almost like a smart contract layer on BTC layer 1, because in order for things to make sense, they need to be indexed in the first place. That's exactly what TRAC is doing. I'm quite bullish on this project. If you are watching this channel, if you are active viewer of this channel as well, and I'm still waiting for a correction. I was entering at 4.2 bucks. I didn't buy at 3.5 because I was waiting lower, and I'm still waiting for my correction, despite the fact I've entered a certain position already. I think it's going to do well. I think it's going to go to billions at least in the full cycle as well, just because of the fact that something that everyone needs. It's actually a foundational project. It's not a meme coin. They're actually one of the few projects that fundraised in BTC ecosystem space, specifically L1s, BRC20s, and Ordinals. Great project that will most likely do very, very well. Now we have the token that I never told you about on this channel. And to be honest, I don't want to tell you about it because I do want to enter a larger position into this token as well. I basically was just putting $6,000 at 0.8 on the correction, and still I want to put more money into this thing. And I'm still kind of waiting for lower numbers because we just were at 0.4, 0.3. And by the way, you would not be able to buy this token because in order to buy this token, you need to understand what is Unisat wallet, how to send BTC to Unisat wallet, how to connect it to BRC20 marketplace, how to buy it from the marketplace. If you actually need this information, go check out my video, my guide on BRC20 Ordinals, where I'm specifically telling you how to install Unisat wallet, how to send BTC there, and how to buy these things from Unisat. Why I'm bullish on this thing? It's basically a swapping mechanism in BRC20 assets, and not only BRC20, but some others as well. It basically works like Uniswap. I know I'm only showing you coin market cap and the chart, and it's not very exciting. Like, there is not much action happening on the screen. I'm not zooming myself in. I'm not zooming out this chart. So what I will do, I will actually show you the website. I will open the website of this thing right now, and I will show you the website. Are you ready? Here's the website of Ghosty Cash. It's very, very nice from the point of view of BRC20 assets. This design that's being used here is specifically a design for people in BRC20 and Ordinals. They love these fonts, they love these schemes and things like that. But the question, the issue we might have, is this design actually appealing for people who are trying to get onboarded into BRC20 space and Ordinals? That's something very, very interesting. And I do believe what we will have with these products on the course of evolution in the market, on the course of them increasing the market cap, they would essentially be making the UI and UX more appealing for people coming from Ethereum, for people just getting into crypto in the first place, because that's something that needs to be done. Right now, it basically shows you that you can swap 1 BTC into 702 Ordi tokens. The interesting thing about this thing is that you can basically swap different assets. You can basically swap Ethereum into Bitcoin. You can basically swap Ethereum into BRC20 assets as well. You have things like Aptos, like Doge. And at the bottom of the whole thing, you have BRC20 assets. Ordi, BRC20.com, which is down 60% in my portfolio. Very, very nice buy. Pizza, which is a meme coin. DRAC, NALS, Now, BISO, Top, VMPX, TRAC. So a bunch of them. You basically have a bunch of top BRC20 ordinals to swap on GHSY. You can also swap anonymously. They have some certain implementation of Monero protocol in terms of this swap as well. But imagine you could invest into Uniswap at $20 million. This is what Ghosty Cash is basically. And I even don't want to tell you because I just have 6K in this token at this stage. Again, not a financial advice. Do your all research. If Merlin Chin is going to scam, all these assets, they're just going to go to zero. Probably except Stacks ecosystem, right? Bullish thing about Ghosty Cash is the fact that they are partnered up with TRAC and TRAC team. And they recently announced that they became the part of the same incubator that helped to incubate TRAC and working actively with TRAC as well, which is very, very bullish from my point of view. And essentially, I think that this token is going to do very, very well on long enough time frame. And interesting thing is we do have this launch of TAP protocol. We have TAP assets. It's going crazy right now. And I know if you're not from the niche, like all these are not familiar or like complex words. They were complex to me, myself as well. Just several months ago, I just sat down and decided to figure these things out, right? An interesting thing is Ghosty Cash might be a DEX, might become a DEX for TAP assets. That's just a speculation at this stage, but I would see this as an evolution for this project because it's already kind of this swap mechanism. It's kind of like a DEX in the view of people coming from decentralized backgrounds and essentially Ethereum and other chains as well. Exactly the similar type of interface that Uniswap has as well. So I do think there is a high chance that this thing would essentially become a DEX for TAP assets. And I think it's going to be one of the most important directions of their work with Crylabs, which is the incubator for TRAC and with TRAC team. I think this is what they are focused at. And I think because of this fact, it will do very, very well. Because some people are saying that with introduction of TAP protocol, you might not need Bitcoin layer 2s. You might not need them with the development of TAP protocol technology. It's probably not going to happen soon, but we will see. So if you would want to buy Uniswap at $20 million, feel free to do that. I'm not buying currently. Maybe I'm losing my opportunity because it's still down from my entry. It's down like 20-30% at this stage. And I don't know, maybe I will still buy. I just don't know. We are very, very close to the lows. Like lows were at 0.4, right now we're at 0.65. And anyway, it's very, very hard to buy for someone who doesn't know how to use Unisat wallet and things like that. So you would actually have to figure things out. You can only buy it currently at OKX Ordinals exchange, Unisat, and SuperX as well. I don't think that you have a bunch of liquidity on SuperX, so it's mostly just OKX Ordinals and Unisat, and it's a whole different process in comparison to how you would actually be buying tokens from exchange or from decentralized exchange as well. These are my 2 cents about Ghosty, but I do think it's actually in the buying zone because CoinMarketCap does not show it, but the token was worth $2. So it's down 3x. It's down 70% from the levels where people were buying it at the highs. I don't even want to tell you about this token. I just have a very, very low location at this stage. It almost hurts, but it's not a financial recommendation. Do your own research, right? The next obvious opportunity that we have regarding Bitcoin DeFi is obviously Stacks ecosystem. Stacks just going up with no rest, just going up like crazy. And I believe is going to be one of the most performing tokens in terms of the large caps this cycle as well. I do think we are going to $40 billion at least. And it's quite interesting that I think we already broke all-time highs for this token. Do you know much tokens that were able to break all-time highs from the previous cycle? I know Stacks. Yeah, very, very nice. Very, very nice and very, very crazy actually because I'm seeing it for the first time in market and we already broke the market cap. Crazy what is actually happening. Stacks is actually being loved a lot by institutions. They do like it a lot and they're secretly investing into this token as well. And that's the main reason why you didn't hear any information about this token before. About 24 top crypto at this stage in between all the cryptocurrencies that were basically made by man. and women. It's surging up nicely currently. Would you want to buy currently? I would just throw some money in, like sort of the allocation or half of the allocation you would want to have in stacks at this stage, just to make sure that you would be able to catch the pump, because people thought maybe here about $1, like, oh, no issues, I will buy on the correction. No, they did not. They never saw a correction after. They saw a correction here. It was at 1.4 already, and they maybe thought, oh no, we are going to correct lower. And no, we just went to 2.8, so straight 2x from there. It was at 0.2 at 2019 and 2020. Where have you been? What was you doing in 2020 when stacks was 0.2? Why you didn't buy? I actually got to know a guy yesterday who bought stacks in 2019 at 0.2. So the guy is sitting at 14x's at this stage, and he definitely did not put 2k into the project. He probably at least put 100k. And he mentioned that he would planning to take profits in 2025. Alex Labs, which is the DEX on stacks. Again, if you want to get exposure to the ecosystem of the layer 2, just buy their DEX. That's a very, very simple thing. I didn't buy here. I wanted to. I did not. Therefore, right now, I'm just waiting. Whether or not we are going to correct, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that we actually will correct much from these levels, but we will see. And here we are coming to the project that I mentioned initially that I wanted to tell you in the first place, Arkadiko, which is a lending protocol on stacks. I think I was telling you about it somewhere here at 0.3, 0.33. You were able to get in, and it's already almost a 2x at this stage. So it's already 80% at least in terms of the things that are happening with this token. I think it's going to go up as well, just because of the fact it actually didn't get a large movement from stacks and Alex yet. I think the liquidity is being transferred currently into DIKO from stacks and Alex at this stage as well. I think even if you would be getting at these levels, just buying into this green candle, you would be able to most likely at least get a 2x in quite short time frame. Therefore, I think it might be a very, very nice and lucrative pick for yourself as well. It's a lending protocol on stacks, so you basically have this wheel on people putting stacks and essentially getting stable coins back and buying more stacks and putting into Arkadiko, and all of these actions are pushing the price of Arkadiko up as well. And we do also have a meme coin on stacks, which is WELSH, which is at 72 million market cap at this stage. Yeah, coin market cap is always right. Fully diluted is lower than the actual market cap. Nice. Not much to say. It's meme coin of stacks chain. I'm in from 0.02. I'm up 3x already. I'm holding till we will have billions on this thing. And it's quite interesting in terms of the correlation. I do believe that there are like more degen people on stacks, because imagine that the main project is 4 billion market cap and the meme coin is 60 million market cap at this stage. Meme coin is larger than 1% of the market cap of the main token of the layer 2. It's crazy to me. If you will have the same situation for Pepe on Ethereum, Pepe would be around 3 billion market cap. Right now, Pepe is just 500 million. So it's just crazy in terms of the connection, in terms of the how large the market cap of WELSH in comparison to the market cap of stacks as well. I do think it's going to do very, very well. That's kind of my long position on stacks. The only issue that I have is that it's quite steep at this stage. I only have $20,000 in WELSH. Currently, I don't think it's enough. I feel FOMO because of the fact I'm not exposed to the way I wanted to be exposed into this ecosystem as well. So 2 main things that I wanted to tell you to buy if you want to get exposure to Bitcoin DeFi is Arkadiko and Ghosty. If you don't know how to buy Ghosty, you can check out my video about BRC20 guide, how you can install Unisat wallet, send some BTC from centralized exchange there, and essentially buy Ghosty from Unisat as well. Well, that's everything that I wanted to mention about this video. I do think it's a generational wealth opportunity. Just imagine, just remember how low the market cap of Ethereum was before the introduction of DeFi, before DeFi summer. We will have the same thing happening on Bitcoin this cycle. 2 projects that I mentioned, which are Ghosty and Arkadiko, are the best one in terms of getting exposure into this thing, because they are purest Bitcoin DeFi you can only get into. Do your own research as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.